For the first time in about 106 years, we have a court of impeachment for a statewide official. This time, the Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton. Let's jump right into it. Greg, do you think this trial, or week one at least, was overhyped?
For the most part, I don't think so. I say it has lived up to my expectations. The highlight, hearing in their own words exactly why Paxton's top lieutenants believed their boss had broken the law while committing a wide-ranging, multifaceted abuse of power in the service of a single Texan who was the target of an ongoing federal criminal investigation. Unethical, immoral, and illegal. Mateer, Bangert, Vassar, and Ranger Maxwell all sadly but absolutely convinced Paxton had gone irreparably rogue by weaponizing their agency in the service of Nate Paul. Paxton's defense team did what they could to turn the tables and put the accusers on trial, but what they didn't do is provide a plausible explanation why the top cop in Texas broke so many rules and took on so much risk for this genuinely shady character, Nate Paul.
Rudy, did the media overhype this, or was it really a historic week, but more than that, did it really have some substance to it?
Yeah, I'll agree with Greg. That's historic, and there's no doubt about how important this is. But yeah, it was totally overhyped. You know, you had media pundits calling this the trial of the century. Come on, guys. You know, it was just way overhyped. And then on day one, when the numbers didn't show that everyone was expecting big numbers of people showing up and packing into the state capitol, long lines going out into the outside, into the Capitol grounds, that didn't happen. Even fewer people on day two, fewer people on day three, and boy, hardly anybody showed up on day four, right? So yeah, big overhype.
I think it's a little of both. Greg, Paxton not facing his accusers, that's something that, of course, when people watch Law & Order, you see the person who's being accused facing their accusers. Does this help or hurt Ken Paxton?
Well, let's see. Refusing to even speak for yourself and then leaving the wife you betrayed to sit silently and endure hour after hour of detailed accounts of your alleged misdeeds. Where I come from, that's at best bad form and at worst cowardly. I can also see how this captive jury of senators who spent month after month in Austin already may well be resentful that Paxton has opted out of the same long, hard days of testimony they, by duty, just can't escape.
Rudy, does it hurt Ken Paxton that, like Greg said, he didn't even enter his not guilty plea? His lawyer said it for him. Him not being there, does that really matter in the minds of these senators?
Well, I think it matters and it factors in, but people have got to remember, you know, just like in a regular court of law, you know, the accused doesn't have to take the stand. You don't have to testify. Now, would the senators want to, hear what he has to say? Yeah, sure. Jerry Patterson, former state senator, and our setup stories that we did said that he wanted to hear what Paxton had to say, especially since he's saying that it's all lies. Explain why he thinks that he's being set up and that it's all lies, and do that. So I agree with Greg that the senators are probably saying, look, we got to be here. You need to be here. I think it is really bad form that he is not in the chamber. I agree with that 100%.
Greg, are the feds taking notes right now?
Absolutely. I wouldn't doubt if they have their own independent court reporter taking an exact transcript. For the feds, this is like bonus discovery with a preview of witness testimony they can summon against Nate Paul or Paxton if they choose to bring charges. I'm thinking of that well-worn saying, you may beat the rap, but you can't beat the ride. My point is this: regardless of whether the Attorney General survives impeachment, his legal troubles are hardly over.
Rudy, Nate Paul is at the center of this. Will he actually take the stand, do you think?
You know, if he does, I don't think that he'll say anything, but it sure would be nice to see him on the stand. And I agree with Greg, going back to that earlier question. Yeah, they're taking notes. That's why my word was dress rehearsal. And not necessarily taking notes as to the evidence, but the lines that are working. What zingers are working, what zingers fall flat. The zingers that the defense trying to use in regards to there's no coincidence in Austin. That doesn't work. That fell flat, completely, right, guys? Really?
Yeah, I think that line was a little played out. Greg, what are you looking most forward to? I think I know your answer.
Absolutely, the mistress. We don't know who she is. We believe she's been subpoenaed. Will she testify in this case? You know, she was in some of those rooms with both Nate Paul and Paxton. What did she hear, and what is she willing to tell the jury? I think that could be the biggest day of the trial if she shows up.
These two guys could probably go another hour talking about this, but this is all the time we have for now. So to see this episode or any of our past ones, go to our station's YouTube channels.
And you can keep the conversation by going to all of our social media sites.
Join us next week as we dive into another hot topic. And remember to let us know what you think the issue is.